12 days since I last come to the gym. Just been busy with life, work, emotional roller coaster, but it's nice to get back into the gym cycle again. And I think this time I'm going to be making a bigger contribution to coming to the gym, and also making sure that the sessions I set out and the scheduling that I set out for myself is one that echoes a emphasis on coming to the gym more often than not, because I see the benefit in coming to the gym day in day out and getting that progression up to speed. But as soon as I get onto a night shift and I do prolonged night shifts, it literally goes out the window, and I'm losing that discipline. So we just need to get back on it and start to push on and get things back to where they need to be. Not losing much growth or much in the terms of physiqueness. I just don't think it at this early stage of going to the gym, I don't think it's that critical, but I do reckon if the more consistent I am, the better it will be in the long run, and things will just happen sooner rather than later. So I'd rather have things happen sooner rather than later. But anyway, this is session 45, and I think I'm going to start doing things a little bit different. So I'm going to do a bit of a warm up now, and then I probably won't record every set and do every set on camera, because I think it gets a bit tedious and a bit boring, and I might just show you some of the exercises that I'm doing in order to get to the main lift of the day. I think that'll probably be a bit more interesting, and what I might do is anything interesting that happens throughout the working sets or whilst I'm at the gym, or any thoughts that I want to share, I think that'll probably make it into the edits. But there's lots of things that I need to talk about going forward as well, so we'll do that in good time. Now, right, so today's session is predominantly going to be legs. Got to do some calf raises at the end of the session, and also I'd like to start to do more cardio. I'm thinking maybe going on the treadmill and do some running, but with being so gassy I feel that I might puke, so we'll play that by ear. But eventually I do need to start incorporating that cardio again and do a bit of HIIT training, sprinting, jogging, and just see how active recovery I can get through, or how much active recovery I can do while I was on the treadmill. So be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe not today. Right, so 2 exercises down. I think what I'll do now is go and get onto the squat machine, and we'll do some front squats or perfect squats. We'll see how I feel, or we can do hack squats. Maybe just get the front squat set up and just really go for that full depth range of motion, and fucking hell. Okay. Wow, I mean, that's only 3 reps, and the freaking hell. I do feel sick, but probably need to change the angle. But yeah, it doesn't feel great, to be fair. I feel really tender on the back, lower back, but I think that is down to probably the deadlifts previously, but it's one of them. I think no pain, no gain, but a bit of a niggle on the lower back. Yeah, not so good. but it's one of them things. I don't feel I've done any damage. It just feels like more muscular twinge. It doesn't feel like I've blown anything out. Thank frig. But again, I don't think the angle does the movement any justice, so it's just like trying to find the right angle. We've got to do this. Right, front squats, here we go. Oh, I just farted. What I've noticed doing that is obviously I don't think I'm tweaking. I'm definitely not tweaking at the bottom, which is always a concern when you get to the bottom portion, that your butt's winking. I'm not getting any butt wink, so yeah. Oh. But one thing I will say is I don't feel fucking brilliant. I feel really feel a bit weird, to be fair. Like I feel poorly, weird. Right, anyway, well, okay. Let's go again. Hot and sweaty and bothered, yes. Right. Okay. Okay. So I thought I'd just take a break before I do my next set of front squats. Basically just have a quick conversation about the channel and what I want to do for the channel, and hopefully investing in my future, and hopefully giving a better understanding of who I am and the things I like and enjoy, really. So this channel is about me as a person, and hopefully you'll see in the maybe coming weeks, months, years, that development of my personality and things going forward. I do want to carry this on. I don't want to be a year down the line jacking it in because I have no heart for it. This is something I am using in order to become a bit more, not independent, but a bit more integrated into societies, and also discover different cultures, which we all know is out there. I don't want to be left forgotten. There's many things in life that I feel that I've failed at, many battles that I would love to have won, but it's over time you start to realise that not every battle needs to be fought, and not every battle you need to win to have that understanding. I just hope maybe later on in life that there's that bit of salvation, that bit of redemption, and hopefully there'll be new bridges and new paths that can be built and walked upon. But for the channel, it is predominantly going to be gym stuff. It is going to be travel stuff, and I know with all that I need to have the technology and things there in order to be able to harness that data and be able to translate it into a better video content for you guys, and hopefully it then produces something that's naturally and feels more organic. But at the moment I'm filming on my iPhone 15. Although it's nice and it's easy, I think it lacks the intuitive nature that is part of videography. I do want to get in depth and be able to manipulate things in order to get the finer details and have proper edits where it's bit more fluidity to the whole process. So it's something that I'm acutely aware of, and it's something I do want to improve on. And also with getting the technology like the DJI mic, not DJI mic, the Pocket 3 and the Action Pro 5, and also along with a new laptop and getting the editing software that will harness all this new data. It also transpires that some of the stuff for like I think the Pro Logic, which is a music editing software, I could actually use, if I'm not mistaken, I can actually use it for my guitar stuff. So it could be like killing two birds with one stone. So, and that's something else that I'm really passionate about, is music. And since becoming single and being I hate to use the word alienated, but that is something that's I'm very acutely aware of, and I know it happens to many parents up and down and throughout the world. But I want to harness the things that it's been able to give me back, and it has given me a sense of freedom, which is annoyingly good, but also it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. It's not the type of freedom that I expected at this age, but I'm not gonna dwell on my sorrows and kick myself and put myself down and go on a path where it's self-destructive and it doesn't give anybody anything back. It's very easy to play the old poor me card, and I don't want to be that person that goes on about the lost love. It's just one of them things. But there's many things in life I have lost and I've loved dearly, and I wish I could go back to them moments. And unfortunately, life and time doesn't work like that. We just got to understand. All I say is capture every moment as deeply, as profoundly as you can. But that's enough chitter chatter from me. So let's get back to the session. Let's do a few more reps on the squat rack, and let's hopefully get a bit of cardio done as well. So let's do some more. What the fuck am I doing here? Anyway, fuck this. Yeah, bitch. Anyway, Danielson. Hi. Right, I'm still on 60 kilos, but I'm just going to go through the motions. I don't feel great, that is a given, but sometimes you have to persevere through things. I think once I come back doing this exercise again, maybe in a week's time, it'll be night and day. Completely different mindset, a different feeling. So it's just sometimes you have to go through these lows and bad experiences and bad expressions in order to feel so good again. You have to feel bad in order to feel great, and that's all I can say on that. Right, yes, yeah, baby. Ooh. I'm so weak, but what can you do? Sometimes you have to go for the motions, eh? Oh, I feel disgusted. I do feel like I want to be sick. Not good. It's not a good feeling. And I've got to go work as well. I'm so gutted. Let's try a back squat, 60 kilos. Oh. weighty bit. Don't like it high, don't like it high. Oh, that feels disgustingly horrible. I mean, like horrid. Oh yes, I definitely feel stronger on the back squats than I do on the front squats. Again, because for me it shifts the emphasis. But I am burping like no other. I feel like I might be sick. It's horrid. Anyway, so got to stop there for now. Not good. So, if I'm honest, I'm looking forward to getting the equipment that I feel that will enhance my experience in terms of editing. I think that's probably one of the key things about having a good YouTube channel is probably how you edit your content, and also how people connect to what you're doing within your content. I think again that's another key aspect, which again it's all for me. Each one leads on to the other. So having a good personality, I think that's a must. There's got to be something about you that stands out that people go, I can relate to that, I can understand. I think that's another important aspect. But again, I always look at myself not being that real interesting person. I've always looked at myself in I wouldn't say a negative way, but I've always looked at myself in terms of being quite shy, quite reserved, and maybe when I do say things, it kind of might be out of line and out of character, maybe a bit harsh, a bit brash, but it's how I am sometimes. And I think that's maybe down to the fact that I might be slightly autistic. I don't know, it's just one of the things, it's one of them labels that, looking back at my childhood and growing up, it probably would make sense if I was diagnosed with ADHD or autism, whatever it may be. But again, it's not one of them labels that I want to find out. For me, it's irrelevant. It's part of who I am, my personality. I don't need labels to define me and to enclose me, to encapsulate me. So it's interesting, isn't it? But it's one of them. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. But again, so I do think with YouTube, you do need a distinct personality that people can relate to. In order to portray that across, sometimes you need to edit your content in such a way that people fall in love with that person, and that person is the real you, and you're not a made-up character. Because sometimes you look at YouTube and you look at people on YouTube, and you do wonder if that's someone's true persona, or whether it's just over-hyped personalities, but then that personality becomes someone's actual personality because they've played a character for so long and they can't differentiate between the difference. But yeah, and I think getting the equipment in order to edit things will be a learning curve. I've not had a laptop. I can't remember. But getting the equipment to edit things will be a learning curve. It's something I'll be interested in doing, and maybe something I will end up recording and asking help on. And obviously, with going abroad, I'm going to have to learn how to edit things pretty quick. I just got to make sure I can get the equipment before I go away. Although it's not a must, but I think it would definitely help what I'm doing sooner rather than later. So it's how much things going to cost. I'm not even I won't say I have lots of cash, but I know with the hard work and effort I've been doing at work, I know I can earn the money in order to facilitate the things I want and need. So I think with the channel itself, it will be about the gym life and traveling abroad and doing things on the fly. I definitely want to start doing things that you can do alone, but which people would associate doing as a couple or as a group of people, but there's things I want to do just to illustrate you can do things for yourself and you don't need to be in a group of people in order to achieve something. It's nice to do things a part of a group, a part of a team, but sometimes you can do so much without the input of others, and for me it just shows a more rounded character when you don't need to rely on people to in order to give you applause and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm gas bagging again. I'm terrible for it. When I'm by myself and I've got something in my head, it's just like I've got to get it out there. And I just sometimes wish I was like this in front of people, where when I'm with other people I'm kind of like I just take it all in, and I'll only say something if I feel like it's something important and poignant. It tends to be a laughy, jokey type of response, which is not always helpful. But yeah, so yeah, I think what I'm going to do now is go try a few more back squats. I don't feel 100% great today, but I know by the time I get home tonight, I'll have a nice meal, a sleep, and I'll come back again tomorrow feeling refreshed, engaged, and hopefully we'll go and have a better session tomorrow. But it's just one of them. Sometimes you've got to go through the motions in order to get to that starting line. So it's one of them. Felt good. Again, I feel a bit tight on the back, but right. So I think going forward, I will be making sure I'm doing more HIIT training. Today, I'm just gonna go through the motions. Nothing too strenuous, nothing too crazy. If I can walk for 20-30 minutes, then great. Hopefully tomorrow, if I'm feeling less gassy and bloatedness, I'll do a bit of HIIT cardio. So again, that'll be a quick minute, maybe 30 seconds to a minute sprint, and then go into like an active recovery where you're jogging or you're walking fast, whatever it may be, in order to get your elevated heart rate back down to a normal rhythm again. So it'd be interesting to do something like that, and I think that would definitely help in the quest to lose a bit of body fat before the holiday. Because although I do want to lose weight, I'm definitely not one of these people that willingly just take off their tops in order to show off to everybody. It's not, even when I was super fit, I still kind of refrain from taking off my top, because it's not something that I like doing. It's always something that I need to want to show off, and obviously now being older and maturer and fat, I don't think it's what people want to see. So it's just one of them, innit? But I look forward to getting physically fitter and healthier. That's the main benefits of why I'm doing all this, is to get fitter and stronger. And I think everything else just falls into place. But yeah, so I won't bore you with the cardio today. I think maybe next time when I'm doing it all, I'll record how strenuous something is, and hopefully just relay to you guys the effort I'm putting in, and over time I'll start to track my weight. And another thing is I'm wanting to go to different gyms. It won't be long before I'll be going to some different gyms and hopefully filming a different type of content. Different environments, not different type of content, but in a different environment. So it'll be interesting. But I'm also really looking forward to getting a grips to having new technologies and hopefully making some proper good edits and understanding using things and making my own templates and whatever. Hopefully making a nice intro to the channel. I think that'd be pretty cool. But again, not a given. Be nice to create some proper thumbnails that's catching and more intuitive to people. So it's just this learning curve, and it's something that when I was growing up, being a young teenager and wanting to be involved in technology, you do pick up things when you're younger, and you just something I've not really cared too much about when I was growing up, really. So be interesting to see what technology is about and how it can really influence the content that you produce. And one thing is for sure, doing the gym life is not easy. It looks easy, but by far it is about effort. It is about dedicating time to it, and even if you're taking steroids, enhancers, whatever it may be, you still need to put in the time and effort. Now, granted, those who take steroids do have the upper hand. They do have that massive incentive and that bonus paycheck that's going to always be delivered to them, because they've taken things that really do potently encourage growth. So when you're someone who's naturally doing lifting, getting healthier the old school method, it takes a lot more dedication, understanding, perseverance. Really, you have to be really more disciplined than those who are taking steroids, in my eye, because the amount of growth, progression that you make as someone who's naturally doing it all is minute. You may get physically stronger and you'll notice the physical demand getting easier, but you'll also hit plateaus quicker as well. And in terms of losing weight, again, you might lose weight as quick as someone who's taking steroids or taking enhancers, but it's the muscle bellies, and that's the one thing that takes a lot of time to develop. So it is a long track, and I think the sooner you start going to the gym and working out, the easier it becomes. And even if you've had time off from the gym where you've been consistently beforehand, things do remain. Muscle memory is a thing. It does exist, and hopefully I can be testament to that track record. And yeah, anyway, I'm gas bagging again. But yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy what life has to offer to me from now on. I'm not gonna chase things that don't need to be chased, and I think good things come to those who, when you least expect it, and I'm looking forward to sharing more experiences of my life with everybody, really. I think you can hold on to bitterness and it gets you nowhere. There are some exceptions to the rules in life, where those who seem to be very despicable and seem to get away with everything live a very luxurious life, and it's not like you can save it. It's life's not always going to be fair, and there's always going to be people who will have the upper hand, who don't deserve to be in that situation, but they are, and it's just part of life. I think when we build people up, we sometimes create real monsters, and it's only later on we realise that. So anyway, I'm gas bagging again, but hopefully hopefully I can deliver on the things that I want to deliver on. I'm not doing this for anybody else other than for myself, for my mental well-being, but I hope in all this that it helps other people, and I think that's something which is quite important. I think if you can help other people start a journey before the time I started my journey, I think that's a positive thing. It's not always about the financial side of things. It's just doing things that have relatively little need for money to do something. So it's like getting fit. You don't have to join the gym to get fit. But for me as a person, I think coming to the gym or a gym environment is dedication, and sometimes you have to dedicate that time for something as important as your health. There's no two ways about it. It's not a golden ticket to a long prosperous life. No, it's not. But if it gains you that extra 5 minutes with those who you really love and appreciate the most, trust me, that'll be the best 5 minutes you'll ever want to have again. So anyway, I'm being a soppy git, so let's focus on looking at myself in the reflection of the window. Joys. Anyway, I'll see you next time on Lee Murray's Gym and Travels. Don't say that name too quick because it sounds weird. Anyway, later. So, if you want to help the channel grow, guys, please share this with as many people as you can who you feel it may benefit. I'm still in the phase of trying to learn not who I am, but how I want to present all this information to you guys. I know in the future, when I get the equipment to be able to edit the videos in a better fashion, I think that will really help push the channel content out there, improve the YouTube algorithm. But if you can do me a favor, if you can like the video, subscribe, comment, by all means, please do. It does help the channel grow, and it does help it to push this content to a wider audience. And also, hopefully, I want to grow this community where it is inclusive and it isn't just based on how big your biceps are and how small your brain is. It is about being realistic, and I think it's time we have a platform within the fitness industry which isn't just based on laughs and jokes and taking the piss out of people. It has to be about positivity and seeing the inner strength in somebody and that personal struggle that we all go through. But yeah, I'm gas bagging as always, and I apologise, but thank you for joining me, and thank you for joining Gym and Travels with me, Lee, and take care.